Generally speaking, maiden flights don't have to end up like this unless you mess up like I did. And because I promised to show you the good with the bad, we're going to take a look at this crash and a bit of run cam footage I have out of flight. This is the first takeoff attempt, no flaps, down the Geotex runway. I was about to find out that this jet doesn't have a whole lot of steering, especially to the right. And I accidentally found out that it will not take off out of the grass. At least ways not like this. This time I was expecting to turn to the left, gave it a little bit of right, and stayed on the runway. Even still, it sort of got to the left again, but I got it off the ground just in time. And that wasn't a good idea either, it turns out. Here's classic mistake number one, flying through the sun. So after this, I couldn't see the plane very well. I was holding a bunch of up elevator and left aileron and trying to get some trims dialed in at the same time. It's been a long time since I've been this surprised at how badly a plane can handle. Here I'm still trying to dial in a bunch of trim to get this thing flying more normally. All I wanted here was just a sort of straight and level flying so I could get it back on the ground. But then the F-18 was out a ways and then got in front of a gray cloud and just disappeared. I caught one glimpse of the tails as it was going down, but that wasn't soon enough. In the preceding days, the remnants of a hurricane had come through the area and dumped a bunch of rain, so the ground was good and soft. I was sort of surprised at how little damage there actually was to the F-18. There isn't a lot of structure up in this part of the plane, so repairing this should be relatively easy, especially if that hot water trick works with the EPO foam. The servo under this part of the fuselage just runs the nose wheel bay doors. The doors and the linkages seem to be okay, so as long as the servo's alright, we should be in business that way too. The canopy itself is perfect, and only this part of the substructure there is cracked, and we can fix that easy enough. Plus that'll give me the right length for when I try and put this back together. Making sure that the canopy is mounted right is the only concern I have about this front end. The rest of the nose is pretty squished and part of it broken off, but all of that should be alright once we expand it again with the hot water. And we'll do a how-to story on that procedure if you're not familiar with it. My biggest relief came when I found that the nose wheel and its hardware hadn't been impacted. This is going to make fixing this and having it sturdy a whole lot easier. I've got another flight video and some wing bags to finish before I can get back to this, but we'll fix this sooner or later and we'll show you here.